What is up, YouTube? Today I'm going to be talking about my Taurus TX22 comp pistol. This thing I got from the local feed store, and I did a short video on it a couple weeks ago and just basic shooting it, just seeing how it felt, how everything was going, and I've had zero issues so far. I absolutely love it. But I do like tinkering with stuff, so I have decided to spend a little money and do a little upgrades. Since I got the competition version, it came with this non-reciprocating red dot mount, and so as you can see, after it is nice and unloaded, let's check. Yep. As you can see, it comes with this little non-reciprocating. When the slide moves back, the dot doesn't move. So I've got this little cheapo $50 dot on there, which I won't give any vouchers for. But I decided to put a streamlight on it because half the day is night, and sometimes I do like to shoot at night. So I've decided to put on a light. And I do transfer this light between other pistols. I have a couple other pistols and different holster systems that I like to run, and so yeah, I just move this between one and the other. That, you know, the guns I don't carry. I usually do have my CGS Hydra. I believe it's the Hydra. Yep, Hydra titanium 22 suppressor on all my 22 stuff, just because it is so fun to shoot suppressed. And I got some low velocity rounds, 22, that really quiet things down. So it's a lot of fun. But today I'm going to go over one of the drawbacks to the TX22, and that is the trigger that's in it. I wasn't super impressed with the amount of pull and how much movement is in this little two-stage safety. So if you push at the top, it doesn't fire, but if you push at the bottom, it'll allow it to fire. But look at all that movement, a lot of movement. And I just, you know, especially if you're shooting a lot, you just have so much movement. The reset's a little chunky. You have a lot of, you get a lot of movement for that reset. And so I wanted to try something a little different because upgrading this thing is so cheap. The gun itself ran me like $400 and some change dollars. And so I looked up online, and it's not like the Glocks where, you know, you'll spend $200 or $300 for a decent performance trigger upgrade, and then it won't be like drop safe or anything like that. Well, I'm never gonna carry this gun. Like, there's no reason to ever really carry a 22 unless you just want to piss off half the people while shooting them. I guess you could put a whole magazine in them, and that would just, you know, slow them down to some point. But I usually carry like a hollow point 9mm. So I decided I'm going to try out this company called TandemKross and see what they can do. TandemKross does a bunch of 22 comp stuff, and let's see if I can do this without showing my address. So I got the TandemKross adjustable drop-in trigger, and let's see, I got the TandemKross spring setup. So this lightweight spring is supposed to drop the trigger pull weight down 2 pounds to about 3.5 pounds versus 5.5 pounds. And this is a flat face trigger that's adjustable, so you can. So today we're gonna go over how to install that trigger spring, see how it feels with the factory trigger, and then upgrade to the flat face metal trigger, which is supposed to be adjustable and take up some of that brake. Look at that. That is with the safety on. Just look at that movement. You got about 1.5 feet of movement there. So I wanted to try something new. Like I said, TandemKross flat face trigger that is aluminum, I believe. Looks aluminum. And then also the spring setup. And if you want to support this channel and buy goofy stuff like 1-to-1 scale RPGs or custom t-shirts, just check out my website and make sure you snag something. Leave a comment below if you are interested in more videos like this. And if you would, please share and subscribe. I'm gonna take a second to shill for some of the products I do make and willing to market. I'm non-commercial entity. I'm just a dude who in his spare time likes to build stuff. So I do 3D printing, I do t-shirts, I do web design, I do pretty much anything you can think of that I can manage in my spare time. I've made these little, plus a couple mag extensions that utilize the factory magazine body. I can make these if anybody's interested for extremely cheap. I even made my own springs for them. Very reasonable +4 setup, so you can carry 20. And my biggest issue was that it was hard to pull these out of my holsters to put into the gun. So just with this alone, very easy, nice and quick. But here we're gonna go through and install some stuff and hopefully you guys like it. And a little tiny, I don't know, this is like a 16th inch punch. So we're gonna line up the holes. We're gonna punch these out. And I'm just gonna skip all these just cause it's boring and I don't feel like doing a fast motion video. But you're gonna pop these 4 out. You're gonna pop these 4 little spots out. I do have a little bench block, whatever you want to call these things. And you're gonna pop these out and then I'll just be back in just a second. All right, so I popped those pins out. This little tiny punch worked great. My dog came to hang out with me. I got my hip brace on because I just got hip surgery. And we're going to try to shimmy the front and the back of this thing out at a similar time. Let's see, let's get a little screwdriver. This whole assembly and the front assembly should pop out at the same time. Let's see where I can stick some positive pressure. So we're gonna get the front popping out a little bit, just a little tiny bit of pressure, and the back's popping out a little bit. I had like almost no pressure on it whatsoever. We'll try to keep these things two together. I've never done anything on video, so I'm a little shy and nervous. Might put some gloves on so I don't get the shit all over me because this thing is grody. You know, we don't clean guns out here, we just shoot them. Cleaning guns, people do it too much. Just go out and shoot your shit. When it starts giving you malfunctions, then start worrying about shooting it. I'm gonna put some gloves on though, because I don't want to get gross. And my wife went in here and got some gloves and didn't decide to put them back nicely, like such, so they don't get stuck. Huge shout out to Harbor Freight for all of my equipment purchases, because I'm broke. And oop, there we go. So we're again gonna shimmy this side out, back side. Oop, there we go. A little more force than I was expecting. And then the front, oops, there we go. Okay, so we're out, and here's the frame. Looks pretty good. There's your slide stop. There's the trigger bar on the other side. This is gonna be the spring we are replacing today. So we're gonna put this off to the side, nice and safe. And we're gonna pop this thing over. Let's see if we can get this little implement in here to push over the trigger assembly and back out. If I had a hook, it'd be a little easier. I could just pop the front side off first. And this thing just goes straight back. Boop. like that. And now we're free. This one's dropped. This one's the new TandemKross light and trigger spring. Again, as y'all saw in the initial part of the video, I went through how this thing felt, and lots of play. Child lock bag, very long to reset. Monster Energy, please sponsor me. The nectar. So we're just going to do that in the reverse order. We're going to hook this on and up. I don't think there's an index for this assembly. It looks like either you put the spring on one side or you put it on the other side. Oops. Let's see, I kind of want to use a small tool. I'm just going to put it right on. I should have practiced before we're turning the camera on. Boop, right on there. So there's the new spring setup, and let's see how this one feels, and then I'm going to immediately disassemble it and put the other trigger in, because I'm crazy. After dropping the spring for the third time, we're going to take this slide lock bar, put it over, push this down, put it over and hold tension as such. Let's get right there and there. So hold that. Put those in a little bit. Put this thing in. Oh, gotta raise this up. To the sear bar. Raise it up a little bit more. And we are in. Okay. And we're going to slightly put these in just to test. And one more half in. You can almost put these in with your fingers. Those are half in. Slide goes like pretty close to the rear, not like a Glock. And it locks in. Make sure it's empty. Still have that dual safety in there, but way less. probably 1.5 pounds less trigger draw. So again, we're going to disassemble this thing, push it down and out, push these back out. I'll be back in a second. So I decided to show this part of the video because I am still disassembling the factory trigger, and I was like, how do you get this dang thing out? And so what you have to do is you have to press, widen this, and pull this bar out. Talk about a convoluted setup. So we're just gonna slowly push this thing wide enough and press out this trigger bar. So I decided to put this in the video because it's so dang difficult to get this little dual safety thing out. Come on, girl. Let's see if we can press on this side. I can feel it. And there we go. I decided to throw that in the video because it was so dang hard to pull that. That stays in. As you can see, there's some of that safety mechanism. Where we're going, we don't need safeties. So just to let you know, it might more a little tiny bit on the vise, but this metal trigger will definitely feel quite a bit more. You'll feel a lot more in it. So we'll just slowly put this back together and then I'll get back to you. So according to the TandemKross directions, you adjust the pre-travel so it's perpendicular with the trigger block. This is supposed to be the post-travel, so you have a little bit of light. I might have to tighten this up a little bit of light to show between the end of that. So there's all my trigger movement, much less than the initial. Then we're gonna put this bar on with the spring. And pull and tuck, just like a girl in Beverly Hills. Put a smidge of Loctite on this. Way more than a smidge, just like always. Because my little beefy fingers are so difficult to get these small things. So started that. Got Loctite everywhere, just like always. And we're gonna tighten this down. So I looked up some pointers on how to just install this from the TandemKross website, and it says to slightly put the front one in first with this trigger, and then pop the other pins in afterwards. So again, we're going to reinstall just as we disinstalled or uninstalled. I can't speak English. Press. Push, press, push, press, push. And way less travel as before. Put the safety down. Lock it in. And it's locked. That feels good. Way firmer. You don't have that weird, like the last trigger. What would happen is, since it has this safety in it, see that safety moves? If you were to pull like a traditional trigger right at the center, sometimes it would actually hold a little bit. And so this one does not hold at all. And so if you pull, let's check the reset. Nice and easy. Very nice. And especially for the price between the spring and the trigger setup, we were at like $65. So, you know, if you're used to Glock pricing, you know, that can get $200-300. So $65 with a spring and a trigger face that's fully adjustable. We have, look at that, amazing. Get rid of that goofy safety, and then we are back in business. And really, I could adjust some of that pre-travel, but as of right now, I'm just gonna shoot it. This thing is done. So I have installed the TandemKross TX22 trigger. We're gonna test it out. Let's do a light pull, reset, pull. Look at that, look at that. Nice and flat faced. Aluminum feels a lot better. Got rid of that factory trigger movable safety. You see that? So sometimes when you push up here, it just would not disengage. You'd have to press a little closer to the bottom for it to go and actually disengage. So again, well worth the $65 or whatever it was to install this. And now I have a little more customized of a TX22 competition version. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. If you'd like to support the channel, please like and subscribe, and check out my website if you're looking for any sort of gear or merch that I make. And I hope you guys enjoyed, and have a great day.